Well, it's that time again for some Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. And for this little get-together, we'll be reading the origin story of Nature Boy. Yes, Nature Boy. Interesting little side note here. The art is drawn by the great John Buscema, so this is probably some of the best art I've showcased here since I started reading these old forgotten comic books from way back when. So anyway, let's get started. So here we have Nature Boy, master of wind, rain, and fire. Nature Boy. Yeah. And no one remembers Nature Boy. Let's find out why. So here we have the first introductory page, I guess. I don't think it's the beginning of the story, but presenting the most astounding hero of all time, a youth who can control nature's more terrifying elements. The one, the only, the indomitable Nature Boy.
Save us, Nature Boy.
Incredible. The tidal wave is retreating. Jeez, a tidal wave right in the middle of the street. What the hell? I mean, there's a building behind it and everything.
It's too bad about those guys in that building up ahead of me. I'm sorry I was on the crapper. But anyway, I stopped it from now.
Anyway, thrilled to the smashing tales of awesome, never-to-be-forgotten action. Well... well, we'll see about that, huh? Yeah. Okay, Nature Boy. Our planet is a mighty reservoir of tremendous mysteries that are only beginning to unfold. Most spectacular of all, the marvels is the gigantic force of nature. The marvels is... okay. Whose power and fury, when aroused, is shattering to frail humans. Now comes a new hero in whose hands is the amazing power of control. A boy who is dedicated to use the staggering powers for the triumph of good and right living. The origin of Nature Boy. So there, I don't know, on the cover he doesn't have pants on, but he's got them here, and I agree with that decision. I don't know why they got this little circular thing in the big red splot that he's blasting out of. But anyway, there you go. Nature Boy. It all began. A private plane streaks over stormy wind lashed waters as an ominously black sky prepares to explode in awful fury.
We'll never make land in time, Floyd. You're out of your mind to take the baby and me along on a sky joyride despite weather warnings.
No time for recriminations, Mira. Ferociously, the sky erupts elemental fury.
We're falling into the sea. We're going to die, Floyd. All of us. You, I, David.
Keep your head. Hold the baby tight. We're going to hit. And there you go. Mira! Mira!
The baby! Save the baby!
A great wave crashes into Mira, or Myra, maybe I'm saying it wrong. A great wave crashes into Myra Crandall, tearing the tiny infant out of her desperate grasp.
David! Fight! David!
He's gone. We're finished. Abruptly, the sea miraculously calms. A fishing vessel materializes, and strong arms pluck Mr. and Mrs. Floyd.
A call for L.A. for Mr. Floyd, Mrs. Floyd for Mr. Floyd.
Mr. and Mrs. Floyd Crandall to safety.
Save my baby. He's in the water.
Impossible. It's amazing we were able to save you two.
David, oh, my baby. He's gone.
Yep. Suddenly, we're in Atlantis. I don't know. Aquaman's parents. He need not die. we can save the mortal child.
Let us adopt him. Like all humans, he is so helpless, so weak.
But if he is our adopted son, naturally he will be greater than any other mortal. Each of us must entrust to him a fragment of control over our mighty powers. Control over wind, sea, fire, electricity, and earthquake? Such powers as these in the hands of an evil mortal could prove disastrous.
I can see into the heart of this little one. I can detect seeds of greatness. I tell you, this child's heart is good, compassionate. He is worthy of our great trust.
And just like that. And so each of the mighty beings, whoever they are, Atlanteans, I don't know, ignited a spark within tiny David Crandall. Sparks fated to flame the dazzling omnipotence. Geez, omnipotence. They turned him into God. Then, at the command of King Neptune. Oh, he's Neptune. So maybe he's the god of the sea. He's just been hanging around all these centuries. Anyway, then at the command of King Neptune, a giant wave tossed the tiny infant skyward. Well, that's... of course, he's got powers now, so I guess it's okay to send an infant home on a tidal wave. Great going, Atlantis, or whoever you are. Where King Gusto's great... King Gusto. So I guess these are just gods. And one of them just took the name Neptune. I've never heard of King Gusto. But anyway, King Gusto's great warm winds caught... warm winds? Then gently bore it through the upper reaches. Whee! There he goes, yeah. To the Crandall estate. They just... I love magic, you know. They just knew where the kid lived. To the Crandall estate, where a powerful blast of wind tore the front door off its hinges, and the child was safely returned to its home. Hi! Holy shit!
Why did it have to be David? Why couldn't it have been me?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll never forgive myself for taking the plane out in bad weather. I can't help but feel somehow this is all my fault. There was no joy in the hearts of the Crandalls as they returned to their estate, only a terrible, aching sadness.
I won't be able to bear this house with its memories of my poor lost baby.
You've got to forget, Myra, or you'll lose your mind.
Dada! I've already lost my senses. I could swear I just heard David's little voice.
So did I.
David!
David!
My baby's alive!
But this is impossible. How could David possibly be here when I'm the one who put him in the water? Oh, I mean, when he got lost in the water.
It's something that even we can't explain, Mr. Crandall. We knew that you and Mrs. Crandall and the baby had flown out to sea just before the storm struck, and we were terribly worried.
Wow. That's your maid, huh? Boy, Mrs. Crandall, you let your husband hire a hot little chickadee like that to work around the house? That's not too smart. Anyway,
when the storm struck, we all had a feeling of terrible foreboding. Then at the height of the storm, the front door was blown in by the violence of the winds.
Watch out for the door!
There in the doorway stood David, drenched but unhurt. He didn't look the least bit frightened, and the fierce wind was completely gone.
It's the baby!
Alone? But how?
Miss Terrell, what you are telling us is beyond belief. The baby sank beneath the sea. He just couldn't be here. It defies all reason. He must be an impostor.
No, Floyd. A mother would know her own child.
There is no mistake. This child is our son. But I can't understand it, Myra. I just can't understand it.
Is it necessary to understand? All I know is that our beloved baby is safe, and I am everlastingly grateful.
I'm grateful too, Myra. You don't question beneficent providence. You accept. You enjoy. You are thankful. But you can't help wondering, as Myra and Floyd Crandall wondered on many a stormy night. I wonder what really happened out there at sea after David was torn from his mother's arms. If Floyd and Myra Crandall but knew what had really happened to their infant child and its astounding portent, they would have been more awed than ever. It is a saga strange beyond all belief, a story that will now be revealed. When the waves engulfed tiny David Crandall, it immediately became known to a group of mighty rulers, including among others King Neptune, ruler of the sea, King Gusto, ruler of the wind, King Fura, that's Fura, ruler of fire, Queen Eartha, ruler of the earth. Wow, the whole planet, huh? Queen Allura, ruler of love, Queen Azura, ruler of the skies, King Electra, ruler of electricity, King Phrygia, ruler of the cold. Well, you get the drift.
Behold what transpires with yon might of a mortal.
Winsome, is he not?
A rare child indeed.
With a strong heart and body.
'Twould be a pity were he to perish.
As the years passed, David Crandall was unaware of the seeds of power within him, except that he loved the feel of a caressing breeze, the glow of an evening fire, the drama of a lightning-split sky.
David, if you had your way, you'd spend your days and nights in the fields and woods.
I love nature, Mother.
It happened on the 13th anniversary of David's miraculous rescue from the ocean depths. I won't have a man who mistreats animals working for me. My kid, well, whatever, but not my animals. You are discharged, Grimes. I'll get even. That night. So, I'm not good enough for this estate, eh? Wonder how Crandall will feel after it's burnt down.
Smoke. Grimes, setting the house ablaze.
Oh, I've been spotted. So excited was the youth that he leaned too far out of his window and fell out. It's looking like a promising superhero.
If only the wind could stop my fall.
In answer to David's fervent desire, a gust of wind arrests his fall and gently deposits him on earth.
That great drop didn't hurt me one whit. Grimes fleeing. If only the earth would swallow him up.
Help! Obligingly, Grimes is suddenly embedded in the ground up to his waist. Get me out!
It happened exactly as I wished it would.
And then David set him ablaze.
It seems crazy, but I'm going to try something.
Oh, okay.
Fire, go out.
The fire extinguished itself after bewildered Grimes was taken away. David went for a walk along a dark, lonely field.
I've got to get off by myself. Jeez. Think.
And there, on the field, away from prying eyes, he was visited by his benefactors.
Ah, damn it, you just can't find a place to... Well...
Welcome, son.
It is time you learned your destiny, favorite one.
Then, suddenly, they give him a pair of tights. Happy birthday, David. You have control over the secrets of nature, so that you may secretly better the existence of your kind. You need but wish it, and you are transformed into...
Nature Boy. I thank you, mighty ones, for your great trust in me.
Nature Boy? Well, okay. When David Crandall emerged from the field, he was outwardly the same youth, except, the tights. But he radiated the supreme confidence that only one who has mighty powers for good at his beck and call can possess.
A new day dawns for humanity. Evil is to be confronted by a new powerful foe.
Nature Boy, gallant, unafraid ally of the most powerful forces known to our planet. Don't miss a single in-spring thrill, a second adventure of the greatest wonder worker of the ages. The end. Aren't you glad you hung out for this? Nature Boy. But anyway, still, some of the best art so far we've seen in these old comics, because John Buscema was one of the all-time greats. Interestingly enough, he couldn't stand superhero comics. His favorite comic series to work on was Conan the Barbarian, because, in the business of Marvel Comics, that was about as far away from superheroes as you can get. And but I guess having earlier assignments like this pretty much turned him against the whole concept of superheroes. Anyway, do hope you enjoyed this little get-together. Like and subscribe, and we'll do it again. And while you're here, why not check out the link description below for the links to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. And if you just feel sorry for me, you can drop a coin in the tip jar at my PayPal account. Yeah, that would be nice. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching and listening.